Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and Michaela is singing, and that means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of May the 19th, 2025. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, we are at the door of summer, right? It's getting close to the end of May. And that's pretty exciting, right? They got the pools open. We talked about like some pool like summertime drinks. Last week you mixed up for everyone, but I wanted to go a little bit of a different direction. And I was driving the other day, and I noticed I'm starting to see those little strawberry carts popping up.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
it is strawberry
Yeah.
season. And that got me thinking something we've never talked about here on the podcast or in lobby bars is the noble strawberry daiquiri, the most purest form of a strawberry that there is, I think.
Oh right. It's definitely the most fun version, I think. I don't know. Strawberries are fun. Do you go to now let's talk a bit about the strawberry um culturalism that
My
happens in
strawberry
America.
experience.
In
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that because in Texas, there's this little town called Poteet. Poteet, if you're listening, we love you here at Drink the Movies, or at least I love you. Every year they had this strawberry festival, and it was 1 or 2 weekends in the spring, and everything that you could imagine you could do with a strawberry, they did. They covered it in
Mm.
chocolate. They covered it in yogurt. They had giant fried strawberries. They
I would
would
say
put
they
it
deep
on a
fried it
strawberry
in
shortcake. They
Texas,
would
no
fry
doubt.
it. Oh yeah, next to the deep fried butter and Oreos. Absolutely. They did everything with these things, and but I was too young, alas. So I waited a very long time before I could have a real strawberry daiquiri. But they would have frozen, like virgin daiquiris for us as kids, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like such an adult with my little plastic cup and my straw, thinking I was like the bee's knees. I was such an adult with my little basically strawberry smoothie. Like, it was,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
no, you can't go wrong there. Yeah, growing up, my grandparents had a pretty sizable farm, so they grew strawberries. So that was where my introduction to like strawberry farms goes. And then, yeah, you have like a lot, especially, growing up in Ohio and even like here now in North Carolina, there's a bunch of strawberry farms where you can go and pick your own, or like I said, kind of the roadside stand of strawberries. That's my preferred method to get strawberries
Oh
because
yeah.
they do the work for me, but I know that they're still like farm fresh and good, so that's pretty good. So if you have a good one of those, that is a good way to go. But if you're making a strawberry daiquiri, you can certainly use fresh strawberry or go to your grocery store and get fresh strawberries. But equally as delicious and possibly easier is to just use some frozen strawberries. So let's go ahead and throw one of these together, and then we'll talk about that and then get into the movies for the week. So into a blender goes 1.5 ounces of light rum, and then 1 cup of fresh or frozen strawberries. If I was using frozen strawberries, I'd probably just set them out in the fridge like overnight so they could thaw out a little bit so they're not quite so frozen up and chunky there. So a cup of the strawberries of your choice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, and 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice just to make that strawberry flavor pop a little bit. And then just add some ice to it, kind of for your desired consistency. If you want something a little bit more slushy, use a little bit more. If you just want it, kind of smoother and just a little bit on the frozen side, just a little bit less ice. But blend that up and then pour it into a glass, sip, and enjoy your summery strawberry delight. So, Michaela, you mentioned drinking the virgin ones as a youngster. What about a strawberry daiquiri now? Does Michaela, adult version of Michaela, still love a strawberry daiquiri?
I do. I do. And I love it. I don't even know how you would do this not frozen. So you know how they make like a margarita and they have either on the rocks or frozen.
Hmm.
I feel like there's like no way you could do this without having it be a blended beverage. So I don't do it very often because usually if it's that warm out, I'm going to be by a pool or I'm going to be at the beach. And by the time I get to where I'm going, unless it's like right outside my house or where I'm staying or whatever, it's hard to do because it gets all melty. But it's one of my favorite things ever. Simple syrup is the key here. I feel like making sure that you've got really fresh limes is going to be important because you
Hmm.
really want that brightness. It'll be acidic just fine with like the fake lime juice or the lime juice you could buy at a store, but it's so easy to just cut a lime and
Yeah.
juice it.
You're
I'm a full
going through the
believer in
bother
this
of
stuff
getting the
now.
strawberries, so you might as well
Right?
just
You,
grab
you
a
might as
lime too.
well. Might as well.
Couple of notes here. You could swap the simple syrup out for some honey. That would certainly be a delicious addition there. That would make it nice. And if you wanted to go a non-frozen route, you could certainly substitute in, I don't know, roughly an ounce, ounce and a half ish, something like that, of like a like Monin strawberry syrup. You could do that. I don't use like the Hershey strawberry syrup, but you could use like a high quality like Monin one or something you might find in like your coffee syrup selection. But it's not going to be as good as a frozen strawberry daiquiri. I can guarantee that. So
Can
yeah, so
confirm. Yeah.
that is the strawberry daiquiri there. Go mix one up. I might have one later on this evening as we get ready to begin our summer worth of movies. Let's talk about the box office here for the weekend. Real quick, we have Final Destination Bloodlines, which is the new movie into the theater this week, brings in $51 million. So good job, Final Destination. I guess if you're out there in the the horror of it all, you can check that out. Followed by Thunderbolts, which just edged out Sinners, Minecraft movie, and The Accountant Part 2 round out the top five. So Final Destination, I haven't really heard much feedback on it. I guess our circle of Drink the Movies friends have not made their way out to see it yet, probably because they're waiting for this week because we've got a couple of big things coming out. So you're gonna have to step aside Final Destination Bloodlines. Hope you enjoyed that $51 million because this week, Michaela, we have two coming out that are going to be far and away the winners at the box office. I'm actually kind of interested to see how this plays out. But we have two new ones. We're going to see one, but we've got Lilo and Stitch, the live action
Mm.
remake, which people seem real excited about. We can talk about that here in a second. And we also have Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning, coming out this week as well. We'll be talking about that full on the episode next week. So look forward to more conversation on that. So let's stick with Lilo and Stitch here. We talked a little bit in our hangout last month about Lilo and Stitch and that we weren't like super big Lilo and Stitch fans. You'd seen it, I never have, but it seems like there's a whole generation of people that love Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. So Lilo and Stitch came out, I believe I was in college. So I guess we were in college because we're about the same age. And I saw it and I was like, that's kind of cute. It never resonated with me, but I'll tell you what, there's a whole generation of children that grew up on this, that love Stitch, that love Lilo, that love David, they're the one of the Beach Boys in the show.
Mm.
Yeah, a whole generation is like losing their minds over this live action one because they are feeling the way that we likely felt about either The Lion King or even The Little Mermaid, because that was huge for us, for our generation. So I'm excited about it in the sense that so many people are. I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it because I didn't love the first one and it didn't resonate with me. Not because it wasn't great, just because of probably where I was in my life at the time.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of excited about it. Not nearly excited as I am watching Mission Impossible, but I do think that this weekend's box office is going to be really interesting because we're going to definitely see folks that want to get back either back to the nostalgia of their childhoods and watch this, or they want to show it to their kids and open up a brand new world for them. And then there's the hardcore action jumping out of a plane that's on fire, into a vat of lava. How are we going to get out of this? Ethan Hunt, how you gonna survive, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a Barbenheimer 2.0 right here. It's going to
Right.
be a Ethan and Stitch, maybe is that what we'll call the
There you
weekend?
go.
I don't know. So that's what we've got coming to the movie theaters this weekend. Have a couple of things on TV. Welcome to Wrexham is back if you're into that documentary there about the football club Wrexham. Ryan
Mm.
Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. That one's pretty good. That's a couple episodes into that. Just started that up last night, and then we've got I think debuting tonight potentially Pee Wee as himself, a two-part documentary about Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens. So I think that'll be interesting there from that standpoint. Paul Rubens is a character that people of our age definitely grew up with and had his own trials and tribulations, but still contributed a bunch all the way up to his death and different voice acting type of things and cameo appearances and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to watch it and just see how they handle the legacy there of Paul Rubens. So you've got that coming out to Max, like I said, sometime this week. Last week on
Yeah.
the podcast, we talked about Thunderbolts, Asterisk, the new Avengers. That was a pretty good time. And then this week we were talking about Michael, which is a Christmas movie about an angel, but we're talking about it this week anyways. So stay tuned for that because we've got a really fun cocktail coming for everyone there. Cookie related. That's what angels smell like, right? I guess cookies or whatever you want them to smell like, I guess is what they smell like. So we'll be talking about all of the smells and all the cocktails and all the angels this week on the main episode. On Patreon, we're going to be covering the very first Mission Impossible, which is very different than the new Mission Impossibles because I just watched it last night. So excited to do that. We've got our hangout for cocktail and movie patrons this week as well. So check out patreon.com/drinkthemovies for more information about that. And yeah, Michaela, we have a lot of explosions and planes and things we need to watch Tom Cruise get in and out of. So let's go do that, and we'll talk to everyone next week in the lobby bar.